Hello everybody, and welcome back to the VRS Tournament Series. I'm Lucas, co-host of the Lost Mind podcast, and today we have a Tina mirror match. So we see Collen on the left here. He kind of cooked. He plays Ditto and Roaring Moon as your standout Pokemon. He plays Dark Energies instead of Water Energies, so that's kind of a decision you have to make with Tina, as if you're going to play Roaring Moon or Greninja. Greninja offers like a turn 2 destroy the board kind of situation, but Roaring Moon is essentially a Star Requiem, which is Giratina's V-Star attack, on 7 in Lost Zone, because you can just Mirage Gate, attach, and Frenzy Gouging. So it offers kind of it just KOs anything on the, like, you can realistically get 7 in Lost Zone on the second turn. Derrick on the right is playing a much more set in stone, consistent Tina list. Not as many techs. Playing the Greninja, playing the Water Energies. We don't see the Ditto, but that's not very normal. Starting the Sableye kind of sucks, because now you just have I like to refer to it as Sableye food on the bench. Most of the time you would be able to determine whether or not you would, want to, when you're going to bench a Sableye, but in this situation, you just can't. We see Derrick passing it over after Lost Zoning an Iono. You saw the other card was Roxanne, and I think it's fair that we're keeping Roxanne instead of Iono in this situation. Iono only puts them down to 4 cards in hand, and this is assuming that you can play Roxanne when they reach to 3 prizes. And while Iono does allow you to put them down to 1 card, being able to have Roxanne the turn they go down to 3 prizes is very big. Instead of putting them to 4 cards with Iono, you're putting them to 2 with Roxanne. And I'm, again, assuming that on 3 prizes you're using Roxanne. We see Collen on the left here, hits the Battle VIP pass, so we're automatically going to be seeing a very, very strong start, as we already have that Ditto with the Transformative Start ability, allowing you to change the Ditto with any Pokemon in your deck. Well, not Evolution. Basic Pokemon in your deck. So we're going to be seeing a Comfey, Radiant Greninja, and I presume a second Comfey coming down from Collen, as this just allows you to put like 2 or 3 in the Lost Zone, and if we hit a Colress, we can easily get up to 5 in Lost Zone turn 1. So then that would just allow for a turn 2 Greninja. So I'm assuming this is prize checking from Collen. Tina, it's very important, especially with Giratina, to prize check, as you typically want to check what energies are prized, as when you're using Lost Impact, you need to Lost on those 2 energies as a cost of the attack, and with Lost Zoning those 2 energies, you have to make sure that you're not like Lost Zoning your last Grass Energy because one's prized or something. So that's what I did when I played this deck to Worlds in 2023 in Yokohama. I checked my energies first because I knew how important those are, especially with Tina. I would check Pokemon energies, supporters, super odds, Mirage Gates, all that kind of stuff. We see that we're not putting down a Tina here, and I don't really like this play from Collen. I don't know if you would assume it's Giratina when they put down an Iono, but if you assume this is Giratina, I would very much so go for the Abyss Seeking line. It just allows you to, I don't know, get a turn 2 Sableye some games, but he's choosing to go a much more aggressive route with the Cramorant play. I didn't get to see what card he lost on for what card he grabbed instead of the Jet Energy. It's like oh, it's Roaring Moon. Okay, so he put Roaring Moon to hand, and that's fine, but I kind of disagree with that, honestly. I see it, but if we're using Frenzied Gouging on a Giratina, then we're giving Sableye some food, because your Roaring Moon's only on 30 HP, and you're just going to be able to KO that and then put 70 on a Comfey. And to make it even worse, that means you still have 20 remaining, so you can put 20 on another Comfey. And the reason that's so important is because we bring this Comfey down to 50 HP, and then the Lost Mine is able to KO 2 Comfeys. And we're presuming that we bench more than 2 Comfeys here, but if you do, then it gets pretty slippery pretty fast with Sableye. We're Lost Zoning the Professor Turo, and I mean, I see it, but I would feel like this is one of the matchups where you would kind of want to preserve that. Maybe not. We see the Spit innocently on the Comfey. What did he draw off prizes? Okay, that's fine. So Derrick starting the turn here, automatic Colress. So I Can't tell if he had a basic energy in hand. I'm presuming he didn't, because what I like to do is oh wait, there's a path in play. Never mind, I'm dumb. I didn't see the path. So what I was thinking was, if you had a basic energy in play, you would concealed first. And the reason I do this is because I typically like to sequence least decisions to most decisions. So with Tina, that would be concealed first, because you need to decide on if you're getting rid of an energy. And then you would Colress, because you need to decide between 3 out of 5 cards. And then you would Comfey, because it's 1 out of 2 cards. So with Colress, you're keeping 60% of the cards. Greninja, you're keeping 100% of the cards. And Comfey, you're keeping 50% of the cards. That's while here, I'm assuming this is just a Comfey. That's what I would presume here. We might see a deck check here. Can't remember on if he checked his deck on the first turn. I think he did. So my assumption was correct. We do seem to be benching this Comfey. Need to respond to Collen's very aggressive turn 1. This is going to be very awkward, as we started the turn with a Colress, and we're going to be probably on 5 at most if we attach the Generator to this Comfey. I think another line I could see here is switch carding into the Comfey and benching the Tina and trying to hit a Tina V off of Flower Selecting to Abyss Seeking. But we're going to be fighting fire with fire here. We're going to go for the Spit instantly in return. Flower Selecting, getting rid of the gate. I think he grabbed a Nest Ball, if I am not mistaken. Here, this hand's pretty dead, so I would think that this is just a retreat and Spit. Yes, indeed. Was very correct. Yeah. So, I think the goal for Collen this turn is to either Spit instantly on the active Cram, as Collen does play 2 Cram in his list, which is semi-unusual for Tina variants. Collen starting the turn here with a Colress, so we're going to be able to get up to 8 in Lost Zone this turn. Should be very, very nice. If we hit the Cramorant, we should be in a very good spot, because you're just withholding the tempo. Getting rid of Switch Card Psychic, and I don't really like that you had to get rid of a switch, but you know, you have to do what you gotta do. So this is definitely, yeah, keeping the Psychic Energy is what I would think. 2, getting rid of the Pokegear. While that does suck, is that's one less way to find Colress within your deck. It's just something you gotta do. Psychic Energy is very important, as they're used for Sableye and Tina. Benching the Roaring Moon here. Are we attacking with this? Yeah, I guess we are. That makes sense, actually. Because Tina variants don't really have a way to deal with a Roaring Moon, like, without a Tina on board. So, this is going to get 2 prizes here. We're going to be able to attack with a Roaring Moon, and then, presumably, either attack with it again or Sableye. So, this is just, like, a Cram that takes 2 turns to hit, takes 2 turns to knock out, and gives up 2 prizes. One bad thing here is that you're getting rid of the Path of the Peak. I don't really know. That kind of sucks, because this allows Derrick to concealed cards, but it's the only way you KO with Cram this turn. So we're seeing the second Mirage Gate being played. This is going to charge up the Giratina before Derrick is able to respond with, I don't know, like a second Iono if he plays one. It's just always good to get this Tina down, as you don't really know. There are some Tina lists that play 2 Iono, so playing around that is just a very simple thing you can do to Iono-proof yourself and hand-proof yourself, hand-destruction-proof yourself. Sorry, that was kind of weird. Switch carding into the Roaring Moon. We're going to be getting a KO on the Cramorant. We're going to be withholding the tempo in this game. Next turn, we should be able to... Well, no, we got rid of the Pokegear. Yeah, it's going to be very hard to hit a Sableye on the next turn, but we do see the Calamity Storm here. Getting the Cramorant off the prize cards, that makes sense. That's why we didn't see it. That's why we didn't see the Cram. Instead, we saw the Roaring Moon. The second Cramorant was prized, which does kind of suck, but... it's not too big of a deal. We see Derrick starting the turn with a Pokegear. He really needs a Colress. I don't like this play. I think you should Flower Selecting first if your goal is to hit a Colress, and that is a prime example of why I would Flower Selecting first. Flower Selecting allows you to dig 2 cards deeper to hit the Colress. So the idea is if I Pokegear and I whiff, then I'm just shuffling 7 cards into my deck that aren't Colress. And then I'm trying to hit Colress off the Flower Selecting. Well, I can Flower Selecting and thin through 2 cards that are presumably not Colress, so that my Pokegear has a higher chance of hitting Colress. Well, how I would have done it is I would have gone Concealed Cards, Flower Selecting, Pokegear for Colress. That's how I would have played this turn out, but yeah, so we are missing the Colress here, and that does kind of leave Derrick in a terrible situation. I would presumably see Derrick grabbing the Comfey, and we do see that, because we just need to be hitting the Colress this turn. If we aren't hitting Colress, we're way too far behind. That's why I would have liked to see this thinning happening before the Pokegear, but we don't have to worry about that too much. Oof, this sucks. Hitting 2 energies is terrible here. Because I think we hit the 2 Psychic Energies off the Flower Selecting. No, we didn't. I'm dumb. We hit Comfey Psychic Energy. But 2 energy here sucks, as Lost Impact already means you have to discard Lost Zone energies. Derrick deciding which energy to grab here. So it was Grass Energy and Water Energy, if I am correct. Yes, that is true. Personally, I would keep the Water Energy, as that's the only way you attack with Moonlight Shuriken this turn. If my memory serves me correctly, you would most of the time play 2 Water Energies in Tina lists. So yes, we do see Derrick keeping the Water Energy, and I think this is just a pass here. No Counter Catcher, because that's just not giving you enough value. Going Counter Catcher or Greninja and praying, it's just not giving you enough value, because this game is going to most likely come down to if Derrick can somehow loop in some Roxanne Counter Catcher Sableye play. Collen's starting the turn with the Jet Energy, so this is not a slow turn for Collen, which means Derrick is in an even worse position here. If we can hit this Sableye here, I would feel like Derrick just concedes, but we'll see. Roxanne, and I didn't see the other card there. Oh, come on, Collen, show the camera. Show the camera. Okay. Roxanne and Mirage Gates. I would have also picked the Roxanne, just allowing you to have multiple turns of using Roxanne, so that's very important in this matchup. Going Roxanne Sableye, it's just so insanely good. I would have concealed cards before attaching Jet Energy to the Comfey. Getting as much information before making your actions is a huge thing with sequencing in Pokemon. And concealed cards is going to give you more information to work with. Like there, in that situation, it would have been amazing to have Roxanne and Gate in your hand, but that shouldn't really matter. You shouldn't have to draw the cards to decide on if it was the correct play or not. We see the concealed cards now. I would have liked to seen it before the Flower Selecting, as, like I was saying earlier, trying to get as much. What was I saying? I was saying that you were keeping 100% of the cards off Greninja and 50% of the cards off Comfey. So, pairing that with also having to attach your energy for turn onto the Comfey, it'd be really nice to get as much information as you possibly can before making the play that revolves around, like, multiple decisions. The attaching of the energy and the Flower Selecting only keeping 50% of the cards. So Collen only really needs a Colress to make this turn just absolutely insane. If we can get Sableye this turn, we're kind of balling, because we're just going to kill the Sableye and put 20 on both the Comfeys. And then Derrick needs 2 switch cards to not just instantly collapse. So we're seeing the retreat into the Roaring Moon, which I mean is fair. I don't know if Collen had another switch card in his hand, so we can't really dig any further for the Colress. So attacking with this Roaring Moon is also not bad. Derrick still has no way to deal with it, and there was just a big body in the active spot for Collen, taking prizes slowly and steadily. Slow and steady. I would have liked for Collen to consider benching the Cramorant and attacking with the Cramorant here, because it just means that a 2-prizer doesn't need to be in harm's way. What is Derrick's plan here? I think Derrick's plan here has to just be to maybe hit the triple Comfey Colress and try to Sableye, or it needs to be like a Roxanne Counter Catcher cram the Greninja for 110 and just set up Sableye plays, or I could also see a play where you go Roxanne Cramorant the Roaring Moon so that you can Counter Catcher, Roxanne the Greninja, and then Sableye 120, finishing off the Roaring Moon. This position is just so bad for Derrick. In this situation, I would even heavily contemplate just scooping. As you're wasting so much time here if you just lose. If you lose as Derrick here, then you have a much harder time completing game 2 and 3. So you want to be preserving as much time as you can. And there's not really many lines for Derrick to take in this game. But I also suck at scooping. When I'm playing my games, I have a hard time just accepting that I'm going to lose the game at scooping. So I can't really blame Derrick for that. Oh, I didn't think of this play. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, okay, so a Counter Catcher Roxanne Greninja kill both of the Comfeys could be a line, because you can also just bench a Greninja, and then Roxanne, not bench a Greninja, bench a Giratina, and then Roxanne KO the Roaring Moon with the Giratina. So this is looking not as bad as once thought for Derrick. There is definitely probably one line to winning this game, and this is the play that Derrick is seeing here, which is the switch Counter Catcher Roxanne play. Here's stage 1 of the process. I would presume you just put up a Comfey. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is now just going to be a Counter Catcher, a Roxanne, and we're just hoping to hit a Tina V. Because if we hit a Tina V, then we can just KO whatever comes into the active. So we would think that would be Roaring Moon. And being able to Tina the Roaring Moon is mighty fine. Yeah, so we see this Roxanne. All we need to hit off of this is a Tina and a way to draw cards on the next turn. Or you can just hit the entire combo in the hand with just Tina, Rod, Gate, Roxanne, Tina V-Star. It's a lot, but it's not actually that much once you see more cards on Flower Selecting and Concealed cards. But that's, I feel like, the line that Derrick's going for here. One thing that kind of sucks for Derrick is that once we take the 2 prizes with Comfey, because we took a prize earlier on in the game with Cramorant, we do not have that Counter Catcher option, which, I mean, isn't detrimental at all, but it's just like a very minute thing. So we see the Tina bench, we have the Gate in hand, and we also have the Sableye. So I don't know, do we have Colress? No, we don't. Okay, so there was a Super Rod, I think, from what I saw, there was a Super Rod, a Gate, a Jet Energy, a Tina V-Star, and something else. Sableye. I think we got a VIP pass and something else there off the prizes, and I do not see what it was. So Collen's hand here is not looking good. We have the rope so that we can attack, but other than that, this hand's very bad. We're probably just going to be roping and KOing with Roaring Moon. I guess seeing the Super Rod here is not bad. We're putting energies into the deck for concealed cards, which is big, and you know that Derrick doesn't have Path in his hand, or else he would have played it already, because Derrick's trying to be as disruptive as possible in this situation. So as Collen, you're putting as many outs into the deck as you can to draw cards. Concealed cards is one of them. So putting energies back into the deck is very big for Collen here. So we see the rope here. I would assume that a Comfey is going into the active. Yeah, because we're only getting 1 card off of this knockout, and I think Derrick would just have to attack with the Tina V Star and KO the Roaring Moon. What did we get for Collen here? What did we get? Oh, Collen, you're mean. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we have the entire combo in this hand. We have the Jet Energy, the Rod, and the Gate, and we get top deck the Colress. This is not looking too bad for Derrick. All we need, though, from Collen is a Psychic Energy. So we see the Colress to start off. Yeah, you don't want Roxanne in this situation, as Roxanne actually just gives Collen another card, because Collen randomly took this card off the prizes, and it's not something that he purposefully kept in his hand, as for something to be able to use next turn. So yeah, I think Derrick, when we're going into game 2, I think Derrick now, it's good for Derrick to know that Collen is playing the Roaring Moon version and that he doesn't have to be worried about Greninja. Derrick didn't show much fear about the Greninja play during this game. But going into game 2, it's going to be nice to just know that you don't have to worry about it at all. I think one of the reasons that Derrick isn't scared of Greninja in the dark against Tina is that you can just respond with the Roxanne most of the time, because the prize mapping is going to either be Greninja take 2 and then take 2 again, or it's going to be Cramorant take 1 and then Greninja take 2. So Tino's have been cutting Manaphy as of quite a while ago, but the reason they are is because Greninja just rapidly decreases the amount of time until you can Roxanne. So that's what I kept in mind when I didn't play Manaphy to Worlds of 2023. I played Tina to Worlds 2023, and I did not play Manaphy, as into the Lost Box matchup, that would just bring them way closer to the time where, to the targeted amount of prize cards for you to be able to Roxanne. And your line into Lost Box was you would Roxanne Sableye. And Tina decks now just haven't felt the need for Manaphy in a lot of situations. I don't think either players are playing the Manaphy, and of good reason too. It's just a deck slot that could be something else, and something else will show a lot more value in the situations that you want it to than Manaphy. So playing this gate here, this is just Derrick getting ready to use Tina on this turn to KO the Roaring Moon, and hoping that Collen just doesn't have the Psychic Energy. If Collen has the Psychic Energy, that's all she wrote. You know, just pack up, go to game 2, and try to just go second. But if Collen doesn't have the Psychic Energy here, Derrick's winning the game. It's pretty insane, but Derrick is winning the game if Collen does not have Psychic Energy. I'm kind of surprised that we didn't see the Grass Energy off the Super Rod. Or, yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see a Grass Energy off the Super Rod, as this would just make the play a lot easier. It would just make it so that you can Jet Energy to the Tina. I think Derrick's starting to realize that. Okay, so we get Water Energy, Psychic Energy. So this means Derrick needs Switch, Tina, Grass Energy, and then he also needs Collen on Psychic. I've said that enough now, so it's fine. Okay, so we don't have the combo in hand. That is very concerning. In this situation, I would have just... In that situation, I would have concealed it before Super Rod, and then if I didn't hit it, then I would have Super Rodded, attached an energy to the Tina and to the Comfey, and then retreated and attached the Grass Energy to the Tina to start Requiem, as just a guaranteed way to hit it. So, Derrick did hit a switch, but it's not the right switch. I think Derrick still has Counter Catcher, though. Collen taking the knockout here was very clutch for Derrick, as it allows a Counter Catcher play, but I don't think Derrick has the Grass Energy. I am correct. Wow. Okay. So, if I was in Derrick's position here, I would go second. The Tina matchup is very reliant on going second. Well, some people go first, but I like to go second, as it allows for a Comfey, Chorus, not flower selecting, Abyss Seeking. And it allows you to get 6 cards and lost on turn 1. So let's see what Derrick decided here. Okay. Good, okay. Derrick decided to go second. That is very valuable for Derrick. This hand's insane for Collen. Oh my goodness. So we've seen this Battle VIP pass. This deck search will probably take a while, as we gotta check these energies. We gotta check what energies we have. We gotta check which one's not too lost impact away. Gotta check if there are Roaring Moons there, if our Cramorants are there, your Tinas, your Greninjas, you know, the basic stuff. I would also... Okay. My method for prize checking is I flick cards to the back of the deck. So I'll put my Pokemon to the front, my supporters, my energies to the back. And then I'll go to the back of the deck, and I'll sort my supporters from my energies. So then you'll have a clump of Pokemon, a clump of supporters, and a clump of energies. So it'll make it very easy to prize check each and every one of them, and then I'll just shuffle thoroughly. It works for me. I could probably do it more efficiently, but yeah. Okay, so yeah, we're just doing this prize checking. Very, very important, like I stated earlier. I can't really tell what's prized or what's not prized, but it's fine. Not seeing the Ditto here probably means that Ditto's prized, which is pretty bad. Ditto just allows for you to thin another card, and that's always good, because you just get to go Ditto, discard the Ditto, and then grab a Comfey. So grabbing one Pokemon from your deck is the equivalent of grabbing two with grabbing Ditto. So concealed cards into what I think is Sableye Gate, Flower selecting, Boss, and is that Gate? I feel like that was Gate. I can't tell. I think it was Gate, yeah. Okay, so we're going into the other Comfey here. If we hit Colress, it'd be nice. It's Dark Energy something. I don't know. This is going to be very good for Collen as we have a Jet Energy on the active. So we can next turn go Flower selecting, retreat, Flower selecting, and still have our energy attachment. It's pretty huge. Cramorant in hand, Boss in hand. Derrick's hand on the right there looking very good. VIP pass, Nest Ball, Pokegear. We'll see if Derrick does the sequencing that I would hope to see here, which is depending on how many Pokemon he has in hand. I would actually, in this situation, I would probably VIP and Nest Ball first, because you have enough Pokemon to the point where you don't need many more. So you can probably just hit like a Nest Ball or a VIP pass off of Flower selecting and Colress, presumably. So we're going to be hitting it off of Gear. Top deck Counter Catcher. Yeah, so let's see if we, hopefully Derrick prize checks this game. I mean, he probably prize checked, but he might have forgotten something. I don't think that he's prize checking, which is pretty not odd. I guess you're trying to save as much time as possible as you're going. This is game 2, and Derrick lost game 1, so he's either trying to secure a tie, or he's hoping that in the third game, Collen will just open, like, I don't know, Cramorant pass, you know, and then Derrick will spit innocently. But yeah, so we're seeing the preemptive Cramorant. I still just think that it's very good to put down Tina and Abyss Seeking. Because you want as many cards in Lost Zone as you can get so that you can Sableye on as quickly as possible. No, Derrick, no! Gear first. There's no Colress here, right? Yeah, there's an Iono. Ugh, come on. Because the thing is, Derrick could have went Flower selecting, concealed cards, Flower selecting, dug 6 more cards in, and then Gear. Because now Derrick's shuffling 6 cards back into the deck that aren't Colress. Gate, Sableye. I'd probably keep Sableye. Decided to get rid of it. Derrick does play 2, so it might be fine for Derrick. Especially when Collen's on 2 and Lost Zone. I would have liked to have seen a Abyss Seeking. It just allows for a more aggressive turn 2 Giratina. Not Giratina. Also turn 2 Giratina, but also the potential for hitting a turn 2 Sableye would have been there in higher power if he had Abyss Seeking. I don't know if higher power is the correct grammar. You guys know what I'm saying. It's fine. Sealed cards. Do we hit Colress? We hit Rope Jet. Okay. So I think the dreams of hitting Colress are dead now. Iono. Okay. If this Cramorant was a Giratina, we would have been so fine. We would have been Abyss Seeking, go up to 4. I don't know, man. I think there were just a couple things this turn that I would have done differently, but I can understand. I don't know. I'm trying to understand why you would Gear first. I guess the only way I can think of it is like you thin a Colress out, but you want to always be drawing more Colresses so you can keep them in hand. It's never bad to just hold a Colress. And in this situation now Derrick's not even attacking with the Cramorant. So this Cramorant could have just been a Giratina, and then Derrick could have Abyss Seeking. And he got himself up to 4 in Lost Zone, and then next turn he could have went Colress, Flower selecting to 7, and we would have been good. Why is Collen? I think Collen might not have an energy in hand. If he has energy in hand, I would have personally went Flower selecting and then Geared. Let's see here. What did he have in his hand? Okay. No, Collen, come on, man. Show the camera, man. That's fine. What is in this chorus? I saw a switch card. Okay. I would have personally went switch card, flash selecting, and then geared. So we're getting rid of a nest ball. I think the other cards I see there are Grass Energy, Super Rod, Switch Card, Jet Energy. And I do think I agree with getting rid of the switch card there. All of the other resources are just so important in this matchup. Yeah, he had a Jet Energy in his hand. Okay, me personally, I would have went Jet Energy onto the Comfey, flash selecting, retreat, flash selecting, and then used gear to maximize the amount of cards I see to hit chorus. Switch carding here, I don't know how much I like that, but I mean, I guess that makes sense. Because I guess then you can Jet Energy onto the other Comfey and then retreat Cram. That makes sense. Or you could Jet Energy onto Giratina. Derrick's not threatening anything here, so building a Lost Zone might be the play. Let's see, I actually think that building a Lost Zone might be the play here. Using Abyss Seeking makes hitting the Sableye next turn very achievable. All you would need is a Colress, Jet Energy onto the Comfey, and then Mirage Gate onto the Sableye. Or you could also switch card into the Comfey and then Gate to attach an energy to the Comfey and the Sableye. This is on the next turn. And we see the Abyss Seeking. I like this play a lot. I think this is the correct play? I don't know. I would have done that play. In this situation, I would have done that play. Getting rid of the catcher kind of sucks, but I think Collen knows that he's going to go ahead and prizes at some point in this game. Because we know that Derrick is most likely not going to be taking a knockout this turn, and Collen's going to be Sableyeing next turn. So I don't think there will be too many points during the game where counter catcher is live. So you could just keep one counter catcher just to be safe. You can definitely Lost Zone one, is what I'm trying to achieve with that statement. So we see the rope here. Probably going into Gren, is what I would presume. Going to Cram. Comfey. Okay. I see it. It allows for, it allows Derrick to get less value from Moonlight Shuriken, if he so chooses to use it. Later on in the game. We're getting rid of the Roxanne here for the Jet Energy. I think you have to. Yeah, with Derrick's hand, you just need the Jet. I'd probably go attach the... No. Yeah, I think this is the correct play. I was thinking you could attach the Grass Energy to the Comfey to retreat and flower selecting, but you want to retreat the Kramer anyway, so yeah. That's my bad. Yeah, you can get rid of Paths in this matchup. Path is never really getting bumped except by the Calamity Storm by the Roaring Moon. And then Path is going to be placed down by someone, eventually. I don't know, that might not be a good argument, because you kind of want Paths as soon as Collen uses Calamity Storm, because then you get to Concealed and then Path, so then you have a card advantage. Or, like, catching up on the card advantage at least. So we see this from Derrick. We're seeing this flower selecting. I would personally grab the Super Rod here instead of the Grass Energy. Super Rod is basically up to 2 Grass Energies in this situation, but getting rid of the raw Grass Energy makes it so that Lost impacting a Grass Energy will be much more awkward. And Derrick decides to opt to keep Super Rod, as that is also good for the later game when you're trying to retrieve your Sableyes, because Sableye chaining in this matchup is very big. Attacking with the Sableye to, knock out a knock out a Comfey, and then put damage on another Comfey, and then put, if you knock out a Comfey, you have 50 damage remaining, so that means you can put 2 on the Greninja, 2 on the Cramorant, and then you would still have 1 counter remaining, which would go anywhere. Because putting these amounts of damage on the Gren and the Cram, putting 2 on a Gren allows for it to be KO'd by Spit instantly, and putting 2 on a Cramorant allows for Moonlight Shuriken to hit it. So this Sableye math is something you have to be thinking of constantly. What is everything I could do with this additional damage on this Pokemon? Like, what is... In the Gardevoir, for example, if they're playing Cresselia, you can Sableye and put 40 on something, so that Cresselia puts it down to 20. So what you'll do in some situations is that you'll just KO a Ralt, and then you put 50 on a Manaphy. Because then if they Cresselia, it goes down to 40 HP, which is enough for you to Sableye a Kirlia and the 40 damage and the 40 HP mana feed. So we see the benching of the Roaring Moon here. I think that Collen is planning on using Calamity Storm this turn, and I'm starting to see the value of Roaring Moon in this matchup, but Derrick also has been drawing slow, so he hasn't been able to develop many Tinas. Wasn't that a nest ball in Derrick's hand? If that was a nest ball in Derrick's hand, I'm kind of confused on why you wouldn't want to develop a Tina, because not developing a Tina just allows for Collen to do pretty much anything with minimal consequence in this situation. I mean, Collen will be, yeah, there's a nest ball in that hand. I'm kind of confused on why Derrick didn't set up a Tina, because there isn't too much on Collen's board that can be Sableye. You can Sableye into having 2 prizes remaining at KO 1 2 prizer, but I feel like benching a Tina would have been so strong. I mean, it's kind of weird though, because then Sableye could be spreading damage all across the board and take 4 prizes in 1 turn, for example. But this just allows for Collen to take 2 prizes with a Roaring Moon. But if Collen attacks with Sableye this turn, the game is very hard to pull back by Derrick. It's very hard to pull back the game for Derrick, as he can't Roxanne Collen, and Collen's going to be taking like around 4 prizes in a turn, or 3 prizes in a turn. Actually, I think you only take 2 prizes in a turn. I think your map with Sableye in this situation would be 2 prizes, set up another 2 or 3 prize card attack, because you don't want to give Derrick the option to Roxanne you. Roxanne is like the only way to climb back in Lost Box matchups, because Collen will have everything in his hand to respond to anything Derrick does if Derrick doesn't hand disrupt him. So, forcing the 1 Iono from Derrick is better than giving Derrick a Roxanne and an Iono very quickly by KOing 3 Comfeys instead of just KOing 2 and then trying to aim to take like 2 or 3 more prizes while having a Tina on the board set up. These are the kind of things you have to think about in the Tina Mirror. It's a very complex matchup, but it's quite fun once you understand how to play it. Every game is especially different in this mirror match, whereas some mirror matches, it's pretty repetitive. We see the rope here. I think you just promote Comfey, and I think the reason Derrick was thinking about that was because if you promote Comfey, then Collen can Cramorant you, but if you promote a Greninja, then Collen has to attack with a 2 prizer. I'm actually kind of questioning on if putting up a 2 prizer was better anyway. Derrick's on 5 prizes, so if Derrick attacks with the into the 2 prizer, okay. My thought process is that you're taking 2 prizes with the Roaring Moon. So if you go knockout with Roaring Moon, then they KO Roaring Moon, you can go Roxanne Sableye, or Roxanne Giratina, the thing that KO'd the Roaring Moon. And it just allows for Derrick to still need to KO 2 Pokemon after being Roxanne. And the immediate Roxanne could have been very beneficial to Collen. But attacking with this 1 prizer was also fine. It just means that once you go KO Cramorant and KO a 2 prizer, then you only need to KO 1 more 2 prizer, which is much more achievable under Roxanne than KOing 2. Because if Derrick has to KO 2 prizers, you can go Roxanne, and then on the next turn Roxanne. And Derrick just has such a hard time responding to that. So we see the nest ball. I think you have to develop a Tina here. There's just too many 2 prizes on the board to not develop a Tina. So we are seeing the Tina. I hope that Derrick kind of, I don't know. Sableye might not even be giving enough value in this situation. It might just be better to attack with Cramorant. So we see the Super Rod. I'm assuming this is just grabbing the materials to charge up a Tina. But I don't even know if you Mirage Gate here. Yeah, you don't Mirage Gate here. Because if you Mirage Gate to the Tina, and then they counter catcher the Tina, then you just are like, oh, well, I just spent a gate on that. That kind of sucks. That just means you're down 1 more gate, which means you have less versatility in the late game. So we see this spit going down to 4 prizes. So what's Collen's plan this turn? I think Collen's plan this turn should be to Sableye. That would put Derrick down to 3 prizes if they KO the Sableye, and then that just means you can Roxanne. But it might also not be good to bench another Pokemon that has 90 HP or less, because then you can just Moonlight Shuriken both of them. And then you're taking 2 prizes with a 1 prizer. So yeah, we're seeing this flower selecting path, and yeah, path goes away. We don't really need many paths in this matchup, but like I said earlier, the only time that a path is not going to be on the board is once Collen Calamity Storms. I think if Collen KOs the Giratina, this game is going to be very hard for Derrick. That's actually what I think Collen's plan this turn should be, is KO the Tina with a counter catcher. So these are the dark energy. Ah. Do we have counter catcher in this hand? I don't think we do, which is kind of upsetting. I don't know if we need to bench that Tina there, but I think it's just good to get it out of the hand. There's not going to be much of a chance for Derrick to Lost Mine it twice, because even if he is able to, Collen can just evolve and make it so that Derrick needs to Lost Mine 3 times into it. We're seeing a Super Rod here. I didn't get to see what he put back in, but fine. His hand's not very good at all. Is this just a shred? No. This is a shred. Whoa, okay. That's kind of surprising. I would have liked to have seen... No, actually, I would not have liked to see Tina V-Star. No, yeah, this makes sense. See the gate onto the Tina. I think Derrick's plan this turn should just be to just respond to the Tina V. That's all you really can do in this situation. Collen's played it so that he isn't on the amount of prize cards you need to be on to get Roxanne. And Derrick is not in a good position here. Collen will just Roxanne, respond KO, whatever Derrick puts into the active. Flower selecting, this is probably keeping Colress. We don't really have any supporter in hand to do anything with, so Colress is very, very nice to have. Yeah, this isn't looking very good for Derrick, but I mean, what's a way he can come back here? Roxanne, counter catcher, Sableye, Roaring Moon would be good. Or, yeah, like, if Collen leaves a 2-prizer on the board that doesn't have any energies on it, you can Roxanne countercatcher that and just Sableye, try to do it twice, try to get back into the game. Because Derrick is going to be on 2 prize cards. So you could even go Roxanne countercatcher, bench Tina, attach, and just pray that Collen doesn't have a way to attack with the 2-prizer, or gust the 2-prizer to KO you, or move the 2-prizer. Getting rid of the water energy in the nest ball off of this chorus means that you can no longer Moonlight Shuriken, which isn't going to be too bad for Derrick, but yeah, so we see this jet energy onto the Tina. Man, I think Collen's just in a very commanding spot. I know I've said that multiple times, but yeah, Derrick's just doing anything he can to try and get back into this game. And you can't even counter catcher. Oh, this is so bad for Derrick. Collen's played this... Collen has prize mapped this quite well. He's made it so that Derrick cannot countercatcher Roxanne or Roaring Moon. He's made it so that Derrick cannot countercatcher him until the turn he has a attacker in the active. And he's made it so that Collen can throw a Roxanne at Derrick as well. Collen's prize mapped this very well. And prize mapping, for anyone who doesn't know, is planning out how you're going to take your prize cards. But I also kind of group prize mapping with planning out how your opponent's going to take their prize cards. So Collen has made it so that Derrick will go down to 2 prizes on this specific turn, so that he can respond with 2-prizer and KO. And the only way that Derrick wins this game at this point is to KO the Roaring Moon with the Tina. That is going to be put up. I would like to see a attack with the Tina instead. Attacking with the Roaring Moon means that you have to Frenzied Gouging, and then you would be put down to 30 HP, which can be, funnily enough, spinning attacked by Comfey. Knocks out Roaring Moon here. But Collen doesn't seem to mind that. He seems to be just attaching to this Roaring Moon, and he's going to be KOing with it, which I respect, but I think I would have Tina V-starred. I'm too much of a scaredy cat, man. I think it's the correct play to attack with the Tina. It just makes it way harder for Derrick to get a respawn KO with the the two prizer. So, I think Collen is just going to go Roxanne, hope he hits switch, and then attack with the Roaring Moon. Super Rod putting back the Grass Energy and the Psychic Energy to, presumably, attaches to the Tina. No, he's not attaching to the Tina. I thought he had Gate in hand. My bad. That is my bad. So we have the Roxanne here. All Collen needs is the switch, and then he will pretty much just be hopefully sealing up the game. But it's not even sealing up the game anymore, because now this Frenzy Gouging is putting him down to 30 HP. So now Derrick has an out. Oh wow, that is not good for Collen. That is 4 energies. Yeesh. Fire selecting. We need a switch here. We have the switch. We have the jet energy. Did he attach this turn? I think he did. Yeah, he did. Wow, okay. So, this is not bad for Derrick anymore, but he doesn't have anything. He doesn't have anything in his hand. So, another reason why I think you should have powered up Tina is you could have gone attach your energies to the Giratina, attach Retreat to the Tina, and then Star Requiem. So you would have been able to have another way of guaranteeing an attack this turn. If Collen would have done that line, there would be a Tina in the active that took 2 prizes right now. I think Derrick just attaches Psychic Energy to the... I don't even know. Maybe you just hold Psychic Energy. Yeah, maybe you just hold Psychic Energy and you lost Impact Psychic Energy Jet Energy from the active. Yeah, I think that's what you do. Yeah, I think that's the right call. So this Comfey is dead. Derrick's going down to 1 prize card. We're promoting this Roaring Moon. Yeah, I don't know. I sound like a broken record, but I feel I would have liked to have seen this Tina powered up. Instead, this just makes Collen have a way to lose. Or an easier way to lose. So we see this Mirage Gate here. We do not hit anything. Collen fails the Mirage Gate, which is very bad for him. He's just going to have to Frenzy Gouging and hope that Derrick doesn't have it. And it doesn't look like Derrick does have it in his hand, so he's going to have to hit it off of Flower Selecting. This is not looking good for Derrick. We just need this. We need this Flower Selecting to hit the gate, or else we lose. Draw for turn. Do we hit it? We hit the rod, so all we need is gate, and we win the game. Yes, I think you rod back the Cramorants here. Do you only rod back Cramorant? Yeah, I think you do. So time has just been called for these players. Derrick's on turn 0. I think this game is going to end in no time, so we should be good. So this could be a tie here. If Derrick hits this Mirage Gate, this is a tie. Again, I sound like a broken record, but if we had put up the Tina, Derrick would have also needed a way to switch into the Tina and the gate too. Yeah, that's it. Derrick can't do anything. It's just going to be a tie here, I think. Unless... Okay, the one out for Derrick is to escape rope and then hit Colress off flower selecting and then jet Mirage Gate. That's the only out you have here. Well, you could also hit switch and then have the manual attachment, but you need a lot. You need Colress from this flower selecting. Passing the turn! Okay, I would have played Mirage Gate there. So we're seeing turn 1 here. I would have played not the Mirage Gate, the escape rope. And I would have tried to hit the Colress. This is just giving Collen more time. All we need here is a Mirage Gate and Collen wins the game. Is that counter catcher? That's counter catcher. No, that's gate. That's Mirage Gate. False alarm. There's nothing here. There is something. We just have to hit... We see the switch card into the Tina. So, yeah. Man. This is not looking... This is looking like it could be anyone's game at this point. If we hit the grass energy... No, we do have grass energy. We have grass energy. I'm dumb. Yeah. Okay, so we have Requiem here, and we just have to hope that Derrick doesn't have anything. So I would assume that we're going to be seeing this Star Requiem play here with the grass energies on... After attaching the grass energy to the Tina, it just allows you to go down to 1 prize, and then all you need is an energy on the next turn, and you win the game. Let's see it. Star Requiem. We passed the turn? Whoa, okay. That's kind of insane. Not what I was expecting. I would have definitely Star Requiemed in that position, because even if you get Roxanne, you just have that energy on the next turn. So we're seeing this flower selecting here. I think what you need here is you need either a Colress or a Roxanne. And then you need to hit Jet Energy Mirage Gate and attach to the Tina and just get the Lost Impact. And that's all you can do. Getting rid of the Mirage Gate there is kind of interesting. Keeping the switch instead, I can see that play. I think we're now trying to hit Sableye. So we're going to the Comfey. Do we hit Sableye? No, we don't. Okay. Yes, so no Sableye is pretty bad for Derrick. This is going to be maybe a tie. If you pass the turn here, that's a tie. If you pass the turn here and Collen doesn't hit Gust, that is a tie. So that's really Derrick's only play here. Yeah, that's all I see. Conceding. Whoa. What? I don't get that. I would have tried to pass the turn and hope that Collen doesn't hit a Gust. And then I would have tried to force a tie, get a match point out of the situation. But I guess that might have just been a mistake from Derrick. But it's okay. It happens. Tina's a very hard deck, very grinding on the brain. I don't know if that's the right terminology, but it's a very hard deck to play, and it gets quite tiring after a while. So I can understand the slip up. It happens. Well, round 2 is nearly up, so I hope to see you guys there.